Hi, welcome to my kitchen. I used to live and work in Germany, built houses there for several years. And today's dinner is inspired by that. What I'm making is a pork medallion in riesling cream sauce with mushrooms and some braised cabbage. So I'm kind of going all German tonight. It's super easy, very simple, but a really great meal. And I think you're going to enjoy it. I'm going to get my pans warming up. And I'm going to grab my pork here. And what I have here is a pork tenderloin. And I'm just gonna pat it dry. Make sure. And then I'm going to take it and cut it into medallions. So I'm going to take off the end because it's quite a bit. I'm probably going to use mostly this centerpiece here. So I'll take that off. I'll take that off. So I want my my medallions to be consistent in size. If you see a lot of silver skin, sinewy type stuff, then by all means trim that off and get it nice and cleaned up here. We'll take that off just to eliminate those not so nice to chew on bits here. I'm gonna give that a little. There we go. Get it nice and trimmed up here. Oh. And one more little piece here. There we go. There, that's looking nice. All right, so next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to cut it into about 1-inch pieces. So I want something that's about yay big, about an inch thick, nice little medallion. There we go. So I'm going to do 2 servings, 3 pieces each, kind of thing. So next thing I'm going to do is grab my salt and pepper here. I've got some freshly ground pepper that I had just ground up before I started rolling here. And give it a little seasoning on both sides. There we go. A little salt. Perfect. There we go. Okay. So now we're going to check the heat on our pan. We got our medallions ready here. Now that my pan's nice and heated up, I'm going to go ahead and hit it with a little oil. There we go. Nice hot pan. And I'm just going to throw my medallions right in there. There. Now, while my medallions are getting their sear on there, I'm going to prepare my cabbage. So, got just a regular old head of cabbage here. I'm going to chop it in half. Won't be using all of it tonight. Then chop it again in quarters, take out the core. And I'm going to slice these into about about ½ inch. All right. The cabbage is going in the pan. A little bit of a sear going on there. Which is good because I want a little brown on there. I don't want it to burn, but I do want a little bit of caramelization. Yeah. So I've got my cabbage and my pork going. They're both getting a little bit of brown. I'm going to give them a little peek here. Oh. The pork's ready to flip. Nice golden brown on one side. Perfect. I'm going to do the same with my cabbage. I'm going to give it a flip. It's starting to brown on one side. Also going to turn my heat down here a little bit. It's a little bit high. And I'm going to hit my cabbage with some salt. A nice healthy pinch of salt. That's going to help draw out some of the moisture and get some of that steaming cooking action going on. So next thing that goes in with the pork is mushrooms. So I'm going to take, I don't want to overwhelm the pan with mushrooms. I don't want it to get too steamy and too much moisture in there. So I'm going to take a little handful of mushrooms here, something like this. And as Jacques Pepin would say, it's not a matter of washing your mushrooms or not, it's a matter of when you wash them. So I'm going to wash my mushrooms. I got a bowl of water here. You just dunk them in there. Decent sized bowl helps because all the dirt will sink down to the bottom. Give them a quick wipe down there. Then I like to quickly throw them on a paper towel. Take the extra moisture out, extra water. So you just wash them just right before you're about to cook with them. Don't wash them in advance or else they're going to end up getting slimy and soggy and weird and it's not going to be nice. So I'm also going to chop these in fairly big chunks because my daughter doesn't really like mushrooms. Likes the flavor, but doesn't like the texture and that sort of thing. So anyway, I'm keeping my mushrooms in big chunks here. If you want, chop them up small, that's all good. But I'm just making them bigger chunks so it's easy for her to pick them out. So just cutting them in halves and quarters here. The bigger ones I'm going in quarters. And the smaller ones just going in halves. So now these are going right in the pan with my pork. Just like that. Excellent. Now that's even a little bit crowded, but I think we'll be okay. Okay, so now got my mushrooms and my pork going. Cabbage is looking great. I'm going to grab a lid for my cabbage. Before I cover it up, I'm going to put a nice splash of vinegar in there. Just white vinegar. I'm going to throw in a couple of nice big knobs of butter and a little sprinkle of sugar. That's going to help caramelize things up. It's going to help balance out some of the vinegar. Just a pinch. Give that a little stir. Turn my heat back up just a touch and throw a lid on there. Now we're going to just kind of leave that and let it stew down a bit. Let it get nice and soft and tender. My mushrooms here and my pork. Mushrooms are getting a little bit of brown on them. Pork is looking fantastic. Now I got color on both sides of my pork, and I've got some color in the pan too, some caramelization. I got a nice thick bottom pan, so I'm not going to get the burning action. It's a good point to, when you're shopping for pans, look for something with a nice thick heavy bottom. That's going to keep things from burning, and you'll get more caramelization, the good stuff. So this is a Riesling sauce that I'm doing. German Riesling. Germany is well known for its Riesling. They're not very well known for wine, more of a beer country, but they do actually have some fantastic wines there. Even over and above Riesling, they have great reds and Gewürztraminer, Spätburgunder, Dornfelder. There's a lot of great wines there, but it's not really well known outside of Germany. But I digress. I'm going to grab my Riesling here. And of course, you need to taste it before you cook with it. Yep, that'll be perfect. Fruity, it's got some tartness. It'll be absolutely perfect. So I'm going to deglaze my pan. It's a decent amount of Riesling. And we're just going to let that cook down for a few minutes. Let it reduce. Smells fan-freaking-tastic. This is going to be so good. I'm excited. Oh yeah. So my cabbage is cooking down. Looking great. Now, while those are cooking, I am going to just make a little a side garnish here, little side salad. I got a carrot, pre-peeled, washed, whatever, obviously, and I'm keeping my peelings and all my trimmings, cabbage too, all that. It's all going in the freezer or in my stock, whatever comes first. Grab a there it is. Grab a grater here, and I am going to shred my carrot. There we go. Get a shredded carrot. One carrot goes a long way. That's going to go in my bowl here. Set that aside. And all I'm going to do, hit that with a little pinch of salt, a little pinch of pepper, a nice squeeze of lemon, there we go. And a drizzle of some decent olive oil. Just like that, we've got a side salad. So I'll just give this a little toss here. Now, if you want to step this up, I mean, you could add some pine nuts or crushed nuts, toasted hazelnuts. That would be awesome. Some raisins or currants. But for today, I'm just keeping it simple. Just some simple grated carrot, salt and pepper, a little bit of lemon, and olive oil. All right. I'll clean up my workspace here a bit. And we're going to go take a peek at our pork mushrooms. Yeah. See, when you're cooking with wine, you got to smell it, and that's going to tell you when. You'll have to kind of develop your nose a little bit, but there's a harshness that comes with fresh wine. You want the alcohol to cook off. You want to render it down a little bit. Right now, we're at that point. The alcohol's gone, and I'm just getting those the flavors, the intricacies of the wine. So the next thing I'm going to do with that is I'm going to hit it with some heavy cream. Actually, hold up. Before I hit it with some heavy cream, I'm going to give it a nice pinch thyme. And rosemary. To me, this dish goes great with woody herbs, like thyme and rosemary. Rosemary will crush there in my fingers. There we go. I'd use marjoram with this, oregano. There's a lot of different herbs you can use. You can throw in Italian seasoning or Herbe de Provence, something with a nice mix. I'm also going to throw a bay leaf in there for good measure. Now, I'm going to hit it with a nice splash of heavy cream. I'm going to mix that through. That is looking excellent. Now, the cabbage is starting to get soft. Tiny splash of my riesling to my cabbage as well. Turn up the heat a little bit just to try to get that to catch up. The cabbage takes a while to cook. So I did season my pork medallions, but obviously the cream, the mushrooms, the wine, all the additional ingredients are going to dilute some of my seasoning. So I'm going to hit it again. A little bit of salt, or that was pepper, and then a little nice pinch of salt, just to make sure that everything's well seasoned. As you can see, the sauce is thickening. Looking gorgeous. My pork medallions are cooked through, my mushrooms are cooked, and all I'm going to do is just turn the heat right off. Good save. I was debating this, I'm not sure, but I'm going to add star anise. Add some star anise just to add a little bit of character and a little something extra to my cabbage here. Put my lid back on, let that cook down. Now those are good. Now my pork and mushrooms are pretty much done. The only thing left to do is just kind of let them rest. They're going to soak up some of that sauce and flavors. The sauce is going to thicken up a little bit. And my cabbage is going to continue to cook here. Some of that star anise flavor is going to work its way through. And so at this point, basically, I'm going to enjoy my glass of wine and let that cabbage finish up. Probably be another 10 minutes or so. Okay, so now my cabbage is getting a fair bit of color on it. No need to fear, it's looking good, it's caramelizing. I'm going to hit it some of that same riesling. deglaze a little bit. There we go. Very nice. And I'm going to throw a little knob of butter in there. As that liquid reduces, the butter melts and creates kind of a sauce. There's not going to be much left by the time I'm done with it. That's got some nice color there. Nice and soft. That's just going to be packed with flavor. That subtle hint of sour anise, along with the tartness from the vinegar and the wine, and the sweetness from the pinch of sugar. It's going to be delicious. All right, so our cabbage is cooked down. It's got a nice caramelly sauce, and it's looking great. And the pork is ready to go. It's been resting. The sauce is thickened nicely. And next thing is to plate it up. Just get a couple of plates here, and actually I'm going to take some get some parsley here. These stems will go into a stalk later on, and I'm just going to coarsely chop some fresh parsley here. It's always good to have. So I'm going to start with the cabbage here. I'm going to put a nice pile of cabbage here. If you were serving multiple people, it would be nice to put this on a serving platter and serve each thing individually, kind of a help yourself sort of thing. But in this case, I'm just doing 2 plates, so now I'm just going to add all my pork medallions on there. Nice. And add my sauce, a nice rich creamy and make sure to get lots of mushrooms on there for my daughter to brush off. There we go. And just a nice little dollop of the carrot salad. It's just going to add some little bit of freshness. A little fresh crispness. If you're serving individual plates, just tidy up the edge a little bit. There you go. That is a delicious meal right there. So there you have it. That's my version of pork medallions with riesling and mushroom sauce and braised cabbage. Not technically braised cabbage, I suppose, but pan, caramelized, braised, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, it's delicious. That's the important thing. And pretty easy to make. Thanks for watching, and bon appetit.